Monsoon holidays were going on, and once my parents had gone out for some work, I was completely alone at home. My house was situated on top of a big mountain, in a somewhat deserted place where no one usually came or went. I was sitting and watching TV when someone rang the doorbell. I didn't respond because normally at that time no one came to our house. If my family were home, they would open the door themselves and come inside. The doorbell rang a second time, but I ignored it. However, when the bell rang for the third time, I became a little suspicious. The entrance of my house has a big wooden door, and there are walls all around it. So, basically, there was no way to see outside unless one went to a specific room to look. This also meant that from outside, no one could know if I was inside unless I made loud noises. When the doorbell rang for the third time, I stood behind the door, thinking that any normal person would leave after ringing the bell thrice. But whoever it was started banging on the door forcefully. This scared me a lot. Just then I heard a deep male voice say, "I know you're inside. Come out now." Hearing his voice, my heart started pounding with fear. I kept wondering how that man knew I was inside. After a long silence, he finally left. But even then, I didn't have the courage to open the door and look outside. I immediately called my mom and dad and asked them if someone was supposed to come to the house. They denied it, saying no one was expected. I kept thinking about that man for a while, but then I went back to watching TV. About 2 hours later, the doorbell rang again. I got up, turned down the TV volume, and quietly moved toward the piano room window to see outside. From that room's window, I saw that there was a strange-looking woman standing at the door, dressed completely in black. She wore black-heeled shoes, a black dress, and a big black hat. Her dark brown hair was hanging down from under the hat, covering part of her face. The only thing clearly visible was her glowing red lips and her terrifying smile. A tall man stood beside her, wearing a black suit. His face had a very serious expression, but I wasn't as scared of him as I was of the woman. She stood in front of my door with that horrifying smile. I watched in silence for a while. Since I didn't open the door, they both eventually started walking away. The man followed behind her. That night, I couldn't sleep at all. In fact, for many nights, I kept feeling like that woman was standing near my window staring at me. To this day, I have no idea who that woman and man were. Were they the same ones who rang the bell earlier? What do you think? Who were they? Do let me know in the comments. And if you like this story, make sure to subscribe to our channel.